The call arrived mid-laughter. Champagne flute angled toward the light, the private terminal's glow turning her skin to gilt. Her voice, smooth, deliberate, cutting through the noise as if it held the deed to the air. From across the lounge, I felt my phone buzz. Once. No contact name. Only a file. Waiting. I left it unopened. I watched her instead. The way her fingers brushed a man's wrist as she spoke. Not tender, tactical. The way his body inclined toward her, gravity rewritten without his permission. She had a talent for that. My breathing stayed even. My expression didn't flicker, yet inside something turned, softly, permanently, like a bolt sliding home. She glanced up. Our eyes met. For a fraction of a second her mask wavered. Not remorse, recalibration. Then she smiled. That was the moment I understood. Not because of the call, not because of the file lighting up my screen, but because people who believe their own illusions never think to check the shadows. She existed in tiers, one for backers, one for her lovers, one for the polished life she displayed online, and one, I had believed, reserved for me. I thought I was the exception, not cherished, just excused. The man she didn't have to perform for, the one she could rest beside. That particular fiction endured longer than most. The first fracture wasn't loud, no smudged lipstick, no names murmured in dreams. It was in the timing, trips that intersected but never connected, calls taken in empty hallways, never where I could hear, a newfound obsession with privacy she called self-care. I told myself it was paranoia. Men like me always do, until the evidence gathers. Then came the numbers, expenses filtering through phantom accounts, flights booked under assistants who'd long since left, a recurring generosity toward men who vanished soon after. She wasn't having affairs, she was harvesting, affection, access, intel. And me? I wasn't her partner, I was her blind spot. I didn't accuse her. I became dull, reliable, unquestioning. I kissed her at the door and tracked the flights she claimed were canceled. I listened without flinching. I mastered the art of nodding while my mind tallied columns. I pulled phone records without touching her device, followed money trails she assumed no one would trace. Every lie has a cadence. Once you learn it, you can't forget it. She spoke in future promises. People like her always do. I replied in silence. The file on my phone grew denser with each entry. Names, dates, transactions. She mistook my stillness for stupidity. That was her last error. Lying beside her at night, listening to her breathe, I wondered how many men had confused closeness with connection. How many believed they were significant? How many were still paying for the honor of being used? I wasn't angry. Anger is imprecise. I was meticulous. The final report came on a Tuesday. No introduction, no theatrics, just data. I asked her to dinner, someplace costly enough to feel like home. She talked. I listened. When the dessert plates arrived, I slid my phone across the linen. She looked at the screen, once, again. Her smile folded in on itself. "What is this?" Her voice was thin. I waited. She scrolled. Her hands trembled now. Her breath grew tight. "It's not what—" she began. I lifted a finger. Silence fell between us like shattered crystal. I didn't accuse. I didn't elaborate. I observed. The truth doesn't require a narrator, only a witness. She wept, first silently, then without restraint. Patrons glanced over. I didn't mind. "I can explain," she said. "I know," I replied. "That is the problem." I told her what she already knew, that every account was locked, that every contract contained clauses she'd overlooked, that every man she'd depended on had already been notified, not betrayed, simply informed. Truth is ruinous when delivered without garnish. No rage, no shouting, only consequence. She reached for my hand. I stood. "You didn't lose me tonight," I said. "You lost the fiction that protected you." I walked away while she was still searching for an escape. This time, there wasn't one. I don't wonder about her. People like her don't need endings. They need reflections. I kept nothing she gave. Not the presents, not the memories. Those were investments made for a return. All I returned was the truth, and it cost her every lie she'd built upon. I feel lighter now, not whole, clear.